I was planning to get a player for my Super Audio CDs and my DVD audios, and I got this faulty Pioneer DV-600AV. It looks in good condition externally, but is completely dead. When plugged in to mains, it doesn't do anything. The display remains black. It doesn't respond to any buttons. Any faulty repair, it's worth to do with just checking general condition. So what I'm looking is for any burn marks, for any fluid stains, for any impact damage, any dents or broken plastics. I also check whether all buttons are working, nothing is stuck. Here, as I said, it looks in pretty good condition. I can't find any problems. I also usually check for the screws, whether they are any marks of device being opened before. Again, I couldn't see anything. It's also worth to check for sockets and anything that user might have used, whether this is loose or has any signs of damage. Here again, nothing really is obvious. So I guess we're going to open it and see how it looks inside. There are four actually major components. This is PCB with a power board. This is where the mains comes in, and then here are all the voltages that supply other components. Then we have a laser section and disk drive in the middle. This is the main PCB board with the IC that controls all the functions. There is also some memory chips here where the operating software is kept in this player, and then we have here the modules that are responsible for user interface. So module for display of messages and buttons, operate to allow operating of this device. The obvious. So first, there is possibility of cheap, simple, and quick fix, and that's usually within the PCB board. So if there is a problem here with the power supply, that's usually quite easy to fix. And we'll start looking at that first. If the problem, however, is in the PCB, especially if those chips are dead, if there is a fault with the main processor or the memory chips, then probably it is beyond repair. Let's hope this is not the case. There is also possibility of problem with power on button, or some issues here in the controls that prevent this player from turning on. We'll see. We start with checking the power supply and the voltages. So the easiest and most straightforward thing is to check for the fuse. Here there is a fuse, mains fuse, but this is, I've already checked this before, it's okay. There is nothing wrong with it. So the actually AC voltage does pass through this fuse. And the next stage is going to be checked what voltages are actually coming out of this PCB, if any are coming out of this PCB. And we refer to the service manual, to the diagram, to see what could be responsible for not actually passing the voltages from the hot side, from the high voltage side, to the final voltages. You can see the transformer here, so I think it's always worth to check what is coming out of the transformer, what voltages are coming out of the transformer, and then here that's probably where all the voltage stabilizers and capacitors to smooth the ripple are located. It's worth to check PCBs very carefully for any obvious burn marks, discolorations, corrosions, things like that on both PCBs, because that would be a clue that something is wrong in this area, but I cannot see anything. That looks actually quite good. The only bad thing that I could find by visual inspection is this capacitor here. It is bulging, it is swollen. I hope you will be able to see it, that it does not look very healthy. This guy here, the top is swollen and definitely needs replacing. Capacitors, something like that, probably is not the reason for the player not turning up. It may be the reason. It may sort of like turn on and then switch off. It may be temperamental, but there should be some signs of life. I don't believe that just one faulty capacitor like that would make this device completely dead. So after doing some measurements here on the connector that is supposed to provide voltages to other components, there is no 3.3 volt coming out of this PCB, so the fault definitely is here. Obviously it does not exclude other faults in other parts of the player, but first we need to rectify that. I measured some diodes around here. There is Q transistor Q515 that is located here, that is responsible for providing 3.3 volts to the rail, and there are some diodes around, and one of the diodes seems to be faulty. One of the Schottky diodes that is here seems to be faulty. So what I need to do, I need to remove this PCB right now and measure this transistor, measure these diodes here around this transistor to see if there is any fault there, replace the faulty capacitor, and then take it from there and see if I can get 3.3 volts on this rail, and also other voltages if they're correct. I get a voltage that supplies a display, so it seems the transformer is alright. The fault must be somewhere around this area here. These components that are here in this part of the PCB are probably faulty. So we're going to remove the screws, take the PCB out, and then inspect what could be wrong with it. Yeah, so it is 52 microfarads instead of 100 microfarads, so definitely this capacitor is changing. We've got a replacement here. The capacitor is already changed. The other capacitors look alright. So I tested all the diodes on this PCB board, and I found one faulty diode with a symbol of D510. It's a Schottky diode. All other diodes seems to be alright. I also tested the Q515 transistor that is suggested by the service manual to test if we cannot get the correct voltages, and this transistor seems to be alright. So I'm going to replace the Schottky diode and then we'll see if we can get correct voltages coming out of this PCB board. Okay, so this is the Schottky diode out, and let's quickly check. I suspect it was shorted. Let's see if it was indeed. Yeah, it is clearly shorted. Yeah. So this was definitely faulty. This is faulty. It is SR290. I'm going to replace it with SR200. So 2 amps, 100 volts. It is very similar. I have a 5 amp diode, SB500, like 5100, but this has slightly higher forward current, so I think I go with this. This is similar to this SR290. So this should work well as a replacement. Yes, this looks also good. Okay, I think we power it up and we'll see if we have correct voltages. As far as I remember, this was ground, and here we should have 3.3, and voila, It is 3.3. We have 5.4. Yeah, should be minus 28. It's 25. Good. I think we have all the correct voltages. So to me it looks like replacing this one Schottky diode should bring the whole DVD back to work. Okay, so we have everything, all electronics wise, is working, but I can't hear anything from the drive. It's not opening, closing, it is not spinning, so the next stage is going to be investigating the drive itself and see what's going on there. Electronics in the Pioneer DV-600 is prepared. It was indeed power supply board that was faulty. It turns on now, but what is still not right is the disk drive, and I think that's probably what happened in the first place, that the disk drive laser pickup become faulty, and then it led to some form of higher current consumption, and probably this diode that needed replacement failed due to increased current flowing through it. That's how I suspect it all happened. I wondered where I could get a replacement for the DVD drive, for the laser pickup. I didn't want to really sort of like replace on the laser pickup. It is possible, but I really didn't want to do it. I wanted to replace old drive. That's what the service manual suggests, that the old drive should be replaced. So I got a different model, DV-600. This is quite basic. It was actually the most basic player when these players were manufactured in 2007, 2008. But they I think they share the same drive, so we're going to open them and compare the drives, and this one definitely works. This DV-300 definitely, the silver one definitely works. So I think we're going to swap the drives, and hopefully I will have the working SACD DVD-audio player, this DV-600. So I start with opening the silver one, and then we'll see. And let's have a look. Yeah, it is the same drive, the same model. The number actually, part number is actually here, and it is exactly the same drive. And as I said, I know that this one works properly. It's very simple. They remove all the 4 screws, and then some of those tapes. And voila, it's out. Okay. And this one goes inside the okay, done. So we're going to test it, and I'm hoping that's all repaired now. It works. Picture, and let's see if the main problem has been rectified, which is a disc. So it's just loading. And here it is. A CD is loaded. Are we going to push play? And it does play. Obviously I won't be able to play any music due to YouTube YouTube restrictions, but it does play. It is smooth, it is quiet. I can't hear previously the drive that was here was skipping all the time, and after about 20 seconds the CD would stop, DVD it wouldn't play at all, whereas here everything seems to be working well. I also got, together with DV-300, I also got a original remote that also does seem to work, which is nice. So it is able to display information on the TV. Or no information at all on the TV screen, which is, I think, quite useful feature. Obviously we can go into menu. Here it is. So that's DVD. It's still not properly set up. So here is my receiver. I need to make sure it is properly set up for the HDMI connection between both of them. Right now they're working in a very basic mode, but yeah, it seems to be working very nice. Repair done. I'm really happy because I will be able to play my DVD audios and SACD records that I have. Great. I'm really happy.